Coach, how you doing?
Well,
Hey, what's the calculus and like the thought process behind moving a bench player who's like playing so well and like doing so well, and then moving that player into the starting lineup? Is there any fear that they may get out of their comfort zone, or yeah, just what goes behind that?
it's definitely a different mindset. But specifically, what you're asking, what I saw in Jordan was a matchup that I felt like she could really focus on because she had those reps last year. And if you think about her athletic ability, her height, she matches up really well against DB. And it wasn't anything that she hadn't seen because she did it last year when she was, playing the floor a little bit more. The thing that comes into mind when you're moving a player from a different a different position to start the game is preparation and mindset. And she knew coming into this game, I spoke with her and told her the assignment. We're starting, her number one role is to be an elite defender, starting on that end of the floor. And then what you saw today was some stuff that she's been doing her entire life, playmaking at the position. So it's confidence in the player, it's preparation, it's communication, it's understanding of role.
And then to like that right there, just how are you guys different as a team when it's Jordan now who is leading the fast breaks, Jordan getting rebounds, going out. You've empowered sort of everybody to like do that but now Jordan doing it looks totally different, brings a different dynamic to you guys.
I mean, everybody has an ability to start the break, and that helps with the versatility. And, I've talked a lot about wanting to play in transition a little bit more to reward our defense with some easier looks. And if 1 through 5 can bring the ball up to start the break, we can get into things a lot easier. Or we could get into the paint. As you saw, she is able to create for others, and that matters when you're thinking about trying to get our assists up and try to get our pace going.
And with Jordan, just talk a little bit about how defensively you were able to hold Bonner and Carrington to 0 points at the half. And, is that Jordan? Is that just the whole team or,
you know? It's definitely a team effort. Like I've said, every time I probably come up here, we want to hang our hat on the defensive end. And Dawana is an amazing player in this league, and a player like that, you are going to not completely stop. You saw how she started in the second half and her ability to shift so easily. But again, it's, KYP at that point. I thought Jewel did an excellent job on Carrington and understanding she wants to get in the paint, but it's not just, those particular matchups one-on-one. Sometimes it is team defenses being in the right area. It is knowing what they want to run and what they want to get to.
And today, was it just, a kind of defensive assignment? Was it just what you were looking for matchup wise to not have Tori get so many minutes? Like not only just being not in the starting 5, but not getting minutes.
I communicated with both of those players. I wanted to try to match Jordan's minutes as much as possible when DB was at the 3. And so that's, if you look at Jordan's minutes and you look at DB's minutes, they mimic each other because that was the game plan going into the game. At the 4, different matchups. Joyner got DB a little bit at the 4, and they went a little bit deeper into their rotation than they did against Vegas. And so we were able to kind of stay pretty solid with keeping Jordan on DB at the wing because she played more wing today. So it was for sure matchups, yes.
Is a performance like this defensively what you sort of envisioned with this group when it came together?
Yes. If you, think about Connecticut, this year they're not shooting a lot of threes, but to still keep them below 62 is I think the record. That is what I do envision because we're capable not only in a one-on-one matchup, but our team defense. We think about Ezzy, her ability to come and use her instincts and alter shots. You think about the on-ball pressure that Jordan and Skylar have. You think about, Nneka and Jewel being in this league for so long and knowing tendencies of players. We have a lot of defensive acumen that we can use as we're playing all different types of matchups.
And then kind of riding the starters in the second half, particularly in the perimeter, just how they're playing and then a few days off.
Yeah, absolutely. We have an early game plus a day off tomorrow. And so it's about being mindful of rest. And we have a couple of more days until our next matchup. And a team like Connecticut, who almost always doesn't go pretty deep in their rotation, they actually did today. Kind of want to win the game, honestly, and not have any slip ups. What you doing here?
I travel.
Okay.
How you doing?
To see you in Seattle.
Love your place.
Yeah, thank you.
I know you guys have kind of struggled with consistency a little bit.
Mhm.
Are you two questions? Are you looking forward to this homestand to maybe
Mhm.
get on a level playing field? And then how do you go into Thursday's matchup against the also surging team like yourself in the Indiana Fever?
Definitely, it's advantageous to be home at this juncture of our season. We're probably a third way through. I've talked to the team about thinking about this season as like an 800-meter race. It's a long sprint. It's not a marathon. It's not a 100. And so I'm just thinking about where we lie in that and wanting to get better and peak at the right time. And I think it's a good time for us to be at home, not just comfort wise, but also we get to practice. We get to be on facility treatment, all that without travel. It matters when we're trying to really approach this schedule day to day, game by game. Indiana, as you said, they're playing better. And we knew that was going to happen. Every game and every team in this league is very, very good. And it's, again, another opportunity to make sure we're locked in defensively on a team who has a lot of firepower and just continue to have our offense grow. We want to continue to stack days.
Coach, talking about the 25th anniversary celebration, we had this beautiful moment with past Storm and WNBA players in general. Today, out of the original franchises in the league, only 4 remain, and then we have others that have been lasting for longer, which is the Storm, Minnesota. Can you speak a little bit? What is it like for you? And have you talked to your peers, the former players who worked so hard? And now, I mean, we have right here a game with two of the new stars. How does it feel for you all to see the league in the level that it is today? And especially more specifically locally with the Storm, what do you think makes the team, helps the longevity of the team?
Yeah, it's shout out to our owners who, during they made a major decision in keeping the Storm afloat. And look where we are now because of their investment, because of their, their love for the game and their love for and their passion for basketball and growing the game and specifically investing in women's sport. I saw Tina Thompson today. You guys know, really great friend, but someone like her, I stand on her shoulders because you think about her 4-time champ. When she came to Seattle, she worked so hard, and her legacy remains because she poured, like you said, her blood, sweat, and tears into this game of basketball. And that's what, it's all about. That's what this organization is, from Sue to Lauren to now our current, Jewel, like carrying that torch. We have a responsibility to make sure everything is intact, respect the game, play the right way, work very, very hard because we have fans who appreciate the game. We have ownership who is very invested into us. And we have, players and staff who want to be the best version of themselves. And I think the game is in great hands. If you look at the young stars in this league, the basketball is put first. And they are really understanding that they have a platform and a responsibility to make sure, Tina's legacy and all the people who came before us are honored in the way in which they play and approach the game of basketball. Yeah.
Few questions from Zoom, from Jeff Brown. Can you describe the similarities you see between your team and Connecticut?
Defensive minded. I was trying to gauge our physicality versus a team who was historically physical. And, watching NECA go against Thomas, it showed that we have an ability to match up in a way that maybe we haven't in the past. And, Jordan's, agility and physicality, even with DB and, our rebounding, very similar, to Connecticut because of, they start on the defensive end and, we haven't taken a lot of threes and made a lot of threes, honestly. I think those are going to come, but I think grind it out, start with the defense and, focus on stopping teams on that end of the floor is very similar right now.
And then also Jordan and Ezzy's chemistry together, and then what exactly it means to be an accountability partner as they are.
It's much more than making sure your partner's on time and and doing the right things on the court. It's deeper. It's an awareness that the connection matters on this team. We go to bat with each other on the court, we're battling, but if we are connected off the court and understanding each other off the court, who we are, what we stand for, it just makes our day-to-day work that much more enjoyable and fulfilling because you're rocking with your sis, but also, you care a little bit deeper, standing shoulder to shoulder with them. So yes, accountability on the court, make sure Jordan knows the plays and knows her coverage and all those things. Her phone is off, so she doesn't get fined, show up on time to the bus, but just, making sure she breathes the air of elite mentality and a mindset that Ezzy and Nneka have.
Question from M. Adler. After a few games where the defense wasn't exactly where you would want it to be, what was the difference today where the communication and execution on rotations was so good? Practice
time. We had a couple of days to work on it. Commitment to, wanting to start better. I talk about our temperament the other day, start with a better temperament and a little bit more competitive. Though we weren't scoring, we held them to 14 in that first quarter. So it was just a matter of switching our mindsets back to where it needed to be.
And then finally from Christian, talking about Jordan making her first start of the season. Yeah. She said she feels like she belongs and can make an impact on this league. How has her support system supported her in her development as a person and player?
Yeah, Jordan comes from an amazing family. Her mom and Tamari, her dad, they're always here. And, here in the Storm, we know that she has a potential to be amazing, not only for us, but in this league. She's locked into wanting to be that, to be great. And she's committed to that process. And, from the staff to her teammates, we all encourage her and make sure she knows that, I'm on her a lot because I know that she has so much potential and I want her to stay focused, sharp and locked in. And she's committed to that. She's enjoying it and she'll continue to do great things here.
And then finally, after the 17-3 run in the second, Connecticut had a couple of pushes, but never really took back control of the game. What went into that run? And was there anything specifically said to dominate the way that we did?
Yeah, I'm trying to think back without watching much film. I just feel like our deflections were on point. Maybe our coverages weren't that sharp, but we were rotating, we were connected, we were in sync, and then we were playing in transition a lot more. And that's what I would probably lean toward without having watched the film.
Willie Ramirez sneaks one in under the gun. This might be a fun one for you.
Okay.
Past couple of weeks in discussing the top teams in the league, it's been New York and Connecticut, and then Minnesota and Seattle from the West, while Vegas has been struggling. Now Seattle wins a big one, the Sun lose 2 straight, and Vegas is winning again. Is it ever safe to label a team the best in the league at this point in the season?
2024, nothing is safe.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.